Here is the latest on the New York Knicks head coaching search. We had a big report come out from SNY's Ime Begley that narrowed down the search to 3 candidates, and all 3 of these guys have something in common. And I'm going to break it down. It seems like Leon Rose is trying to bring in a specific head coach to this Knicks basketball team, and it's really interesting to see which guys he's going to bring in and the type of coaches he's interested in. So make sure you guys hit the like button right on your way into the video. Subscribe to Knicks Media if you're new here. We got Knicks content coming your way all throughout the offseason, carrying into next season, of course, right here on the channel. And feel free to comment down below your thoughts of these 3 candidates or the overall coaching search for these New York Knicks. Make your prediction. Who do you think the Knicks are going to bring in? Who do you want? Who do you not want? Feel free to let me know in the comment section. Knicks fans love to hear what you guys have to say. As always, let's get straight into business. Shout out to Ime Begley of SNY. We're basically referencing his article, his report that he came out with yesterday. I'll leave the link down below in the description if you guys want to read it for yourselves. And Ime Begley is one of the best, if not the best, Knicks reporter in the game. He's the one that broke the news of Thibodeau getting fired. So definitely someone you want to listen to. And there's 3 guys that he brought up in this article. And the thing that's common about these 3 guys that Leon Rose is targeting is all 3 of them are current head coaches for another basketball team. So that's interesting, right? It's not like we're looking at someone that's unemployed. We're trying to pluck away a good head coach from another good team to come to the Knicks. And that's an interesting approach. It's definitely not easy. It makes things a little bit more complicated because, number one, the organization has to grant Knicks permission to talk to their coach, and then the coach himself would have to leave. So it's a really interesting philosophy and the way that they're trying to do this, Leon Rose. And obviously, it's not guaranteed that one of these 3 is going to be the head coach, but this is the latest that we're hearing coming from the Knicks coaching search. So let's start off with Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd is the guy that we've talked about this entire week. When the news came out Tuesday, I made a video about this topic yesterday. I feel like out of these guys that we're talking about in this video, Jason Kidd is my personal favorite because of the ties to the Knicks organization of being a former player, him being experienced with Jalen Brunson, and it even goes deeper with Jalen Brunson. On the Roommates show, the podcast with JB and Josh Hart, earlier this season, they asked about their former head coaches they played for, and Brunson said nothing but great things about Jason Kidd. He's like, he's one of my favorite coaches I ever played for. He unlocked a new level of confidence in me. He really believed me. And Jason Kidd coached Jalen Brunson the last year he was in Dallas. So that was obviously a monumental season for Jalen Brunson to kind of unlock his full potential before he came to the Knicks and officially broke out into the star he is today. So I feel like it makes a lot of sense of why Leon Rose was trying to bring in Jason Kidd. You want to make Jalen Brunson happy. I love everything about Jason Kidd. I really think that's the guy I personally want if you can lure him away. But why would Jason Kidd want to leave the Dallas Mavericks? Number one, the whole Luka trade. We talked about it yesterday. That makes things a little complicated. But they are getting Cooper Flagg as the first overall pick, so you can see why Jason Kidd would want to stay there. But then the same thing we're going to say about all 3 of these coaches. The Dallas Mavericks organization, they have to grant permission to the Knicks to even speak to Jason Kidd. It's the Dallas Mavericks can say, no, we're not going to give up Jason Kidd. And Ime Begley says that in the article. It's not like the Knicks can just talk to him whenever they want and lure him away. There has to be something, involved in order for Dallas to give them permission. So all 3 of these kind of feel like long shots, and maybe Leon Rose is shooting for the stars before he has to go into the other people. But man, I hope Leon Rose has a plan, man, because this has been a really crazy week to be a Knicks fan by getting eliminated in the Eastern Conference Finals, firing Thibodeau. Now we're straight into a head coaching search. It's been a whirlwind. Now, the other coach I wanted to talk about is Ime Udoka. His name has been brought up a lot, even when the Knicks first fired Thibodeau, and this is another guy that's employed, of course, with the Houston Rockets, former Boston Celtics head coach, goes to Houston, thrives in Houston. The Rockets are now a really good basketball team, extremely young, and they overachieved, in my opinion. I mean, they definitely were one of the better teams in the West. The 2nd seed had obviously laid an egg in the playoffs, but I think Ime Udoka is a big reason why the Rockets are successful. And in the article, Ime Begley said it's going to take a lot for the Rockets to just let Udoka walk, which is why these candidates the Knicks are going after, all of them being employed, is a really interesting approach here, because I don't see the Houston Rockets just wanting to get rid of Ime Udoka and let him go to the Knicks. It would have to be a very, very interesting situation to let that happen. And maybe Udoka says, yeah, I like what I build here in Houston, but I see a real opportunity over there in New York. And I think that the Western Conference being so competitive and the Knicks being in the East, and the Eastern Conference is a little bit more wide open. You got Boston, who's entering a really interesting season themselves this upcoming year with no Jason Tatum all the way until the end of the year. You got the Cleveland Cavaliers, who got bounced in the 2nd round. You got the Indiana Pacers representing, the East in the finals, up 1-0. And then the Knicks, and it feels like it's a wide open conference. Comparing them to the West, it's way more of a big competition. So maybe one of these coaches would want to go to the Knicks for that reason. There's a better chance to, get through an easier Eastern Conference, if you will call it that. So I really don't see this being a possibility, but hey, you never know what's possible. And then the third guy is Chris Finch, the current head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, this is a name that I actually was shocked to hear, because every coach that I'm thinking of the Knicks are going to bring in is not someone that's in the league. I'm not thinking of Chris Finch. I'm not thinking of Jason Kidd. I mean, I'm thinking of guys that's available, like Johnny Bryant, who's an assistant, or Jeff Van Gundy, who's not employed, or Mike Malone. Those guys are not employed. They're looking for jobs. My mind did not go to potential head coach replacement of Tom Thibodeau, of guys that are literally coaching in this league already as a head coach. So he's been the Timberwolves coach since 2021, back-to-back Western Conference Finals appearances, coached Karl-Anthony Towns. There's that connection. And he's a good coach, man. I mean, Chris Finch is a great coach. I think that if the Knicks can lure him away from the Minnesota Timberwolves, maybe he feels like, hey, I proved that I can be a guy. The Knicks' opportunity is a little bit more flavorful, and I think a big reason for that is Leon Rose knows what he has with this Knicks team. We are the face of the NBA when things are going well. When you win in New York, you become the savior. You become the king of the town. I mean, you saw what this Knicks fan base did when we beat the Celtics in round 2. It literally looked like, to the outside world, we threw a championship parade. But us Knicks fans were like, that's not a championship parade. If the Knicks ever won a championship, it would be that times a million. But I think that Leon Rose thinks that he has a valued asset here with the New York Knicks. The head coaching position is a serious job, and he probably feels like guys like Jason Kidd, Chris Finch, Ime Udoka would be interested in joining the Knicks, even though they already have a current position in this league as a head coach. And maybe that's his philosophy. So out of these three guys, I'm definitely more on Jason Kidd train than anybody else. I think that his relationship with Jalen Brunson and the potential of pairing him up with Giannis Antetokounmpo, that report was crazy that the Knicks are apparently going after Giannis and going to offer him a big-time package, the Milwaukee Bucks. These are all rumors. It's off-season, so it's speculation time. I don't really know what's true or not with these reporters. They can make stuff up, or there could be actual substance. But these are all legit possibilities that I've learned. When Leon Rose is your president, anything is possible. The guy is super creative. He makes trades happen when you least expect it. He traded for Karl-Anthony Towns right before training camp this past year. Traded like 2 key pieces of Randall and Dante just out of the blue. And that took me by shock. I mean, and then trading for Bridges the way that he did in the summer last year, trading for OG, his guy loves trading. So I would not put it past Leon Rose to have a plan of hiring Jason Kidd and trading for Giannis. And maybe, let me just get my little theory cap on, conspiracy theory. What if Giannis is telling his camp, like, the only way I'm going to the Knicks is if they go and they hire Jason Kidd, because he has a really good connection with Jason Kidd when he was the coach over there in Milwaukee. Maybe Giannis is like, if the Knicks go after Jason Kidd and hire him, I will force myself to the Knicks. I will say that's the team I want to go to. Trade me to New York. Maybe that's happening behind the scenes. I have no idea. Pure speculation. So you guys let me know your thoughts. Those are the 3 names that Ian Begley of SNY brought up in Jason Kidd, Ime Udoka, and Chris Finch. I think it's an interesting approach for Leon Rose to go after 3 guys in the league. You guys let me know. Obviously, Johnny Bryant is another guy, and Mike Malone that is continuously being linked to the New York Knicks, but we will see who the guy will be. And I think the Knicks are going to hire someone sooner rather than later. Like in the next week or 2, I have a feeling this is going to get wrapped up. So let me know your thoughts, folks. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Comment down below a basketball emoji if you stayed all the way to the end of the video. I always appreciate you guys staying all the way to the end. Love you guys so much, and let's go Knicks.